What does a modern kitchen look like in a 1912 Craftsman? Today, we are reviewing a follower's kitchen and walking through exactly how she can update it without losing the character that made her fall in love with her house in the first place. Here's the hard part about reviving a historic home: there just aren't a lot of good examples out there. When you're trying to modernize without losing the aesthetic, it is hard to know what that even looks like in real life. So today we're going to do two things. First, we're showing you her actual kitchen and what she's working with. Then we are going to walk through my mom's 1915 home, just a few years apart in age and very similar in style, as a real life example of the decisions that she made and why. Our follower asked us for help with layout, color, and cabinetry. She does a ton of cooking, wants a 48-inch stove and a large fridge. And honestly, I could have written that list myself. And it just so happens that my mom's kitchen answers almost every single one of these questions already.
So this is an example of a 19 craftsman style home, and you can see the typical details. These are all original. Everything is original. The built-in cabinet, all the little square windows, the doors, and the fireplace. We use lots of bright colors, so I chose to do a white kitchen in my house, although I love colored kitchen cabinets. So my house has some real similarities to our subscriber who asked us for some help. Okay, so we did all custom cabinetry, 48-inch gas stove, because we do use it a lot, large refrigerator. We do have a wine cooler. And I like to put glass inserts here and there, whatever kind of balances with the kitchen. One key point of recommendation is for a historic home, always make your cabinets taller. You can go all the way to the ceiling or just a little lower, like I did. Either one is just fine, but I really recommend taller cabinets, and I always do that. I love colored cabinets. They need to be something you will not get tired of over the next maybe rest of your lifetime because it's not something you want to replace very often. So I did white in mine because I love an all white kitchen and my house is very colorful everywhere else. I thought this was a good balance. So you do want to take the whole entire house into consideration when you're planning your kitchen. You want it to go well with the rest of the house. One thing with custom cabinetry is you can put lots of really neat little extra things in that really help you with your lifestyle. So, one interesting thing, these windows were not allowed by the Office of Historic Preservation until I showed that I had the same type of windows in my original house in another room. Once I showed them that, they allowed me to do these windows. And they were important to me because they can crank out and let fresh air in. So they've been great. If you want to see some custom things that we did here, you can do this for extra storage. And I've got a lot of these. Over here, we have for your mixer. It actually pops out. I love this. I use it all the time. And then I can just put it away and keep it out of the way when I'm not using it. So this is a great thing that we love that we did. Another really important thing to me that I cannot live without is the little trash can that pulls out. It looks like a drawer and it does look like a built-in, and it's here and it has a recycling as well as a regular trash bin. So those are wonderful to have. And then we have another feature that's really fun. If you have lots of bottles to store, these little drawers are so nice. So I love these and I've got them in both cabinets, either side, and those have been wonderful. The extra sink is really handy in the corner because when we do host a lot of parties and we end up using that for drinks often and this for preparing food. So it really helps. I'd like to address the kitchen that our subscriber is asking me for advice with. I'm just going to give her some tips that I would do. And of course, she needs to do whatever she loves and whatever she thinks works best for her in her situation. But with her kitchen, number one, the height of the cabinets would be really important if she could get them as high as the ceiling or almost. That really lends the historic feel, I think. Of course, I always recommend if you can get custom cabinetry, it's going to make you much happier. Most cabinet people who really do historic homes, cabinet makers, can really help you design a beautiful kitchen. She does cook a lot, so I love that she suggested the 48-inch stove, the large refrigerator. Always try to build it in. That'll make you so much happier. And I love her idea of wanting color on her cabinetry. I would just do for a historic home always a more muted color. It can be just anything you love, but just tone it down so that you won't ever get tired of it. It'll never go out of style. You can live with it for many years to come. And of course, a very classic splash, whatever you'd like, but anything very classic like what we did here is wonderful. The hardware, of course, is always huge. You want to get, if you can get any reproduction hardware, that's the way to go. And whatever color you like, you don't have to do the dark one that I did here, but you really do need that reproduction hardware, I think is very important. I love the under cabinet lighting because we can do it now and it's so easy to do. And it really does help with the look of your kitchen, I think. Another idea that I loved about her house were the fabulous natural light with all the windows. She suggested a little table to the right of the windows. I love that. I would do a little round table because you can do so much with the round table, and I just thought that was a fabulous idea. I also agree with her. Do not move walls. If you can help it, don't do it. I think the biggest thing is getting the proper layout in her kitchen, a beautiful color. She did talk about marble countertops. I have to say, I always love dolomite. It's something I have done a lot. It's a natural stone. And I learned from my wonderful countertop installer that it will never stain. It holds up so well. Marble will stain. So that's just something I love using. Any kind of natural stone, though, is wonderful. She also has one cabinet that she really liked that I think was original or is an older one anyway. I do believe that a custom cabinet maker could really address utilizing the style and doing others that would coordinate, as well as maybe making that one a little bit taller if she wanted to. So I think they could do something really fun with that. I think in her case also, I highly recommend an island. We made this one as large as we could to fit this kitchen, and we utilized every inch of it all the time. I have grandkids who love to eat here, do homework, draw, but we also host parties, so we have it covered with food all the time. I think her kitchen looks like it would fit perfectly with a large island. You can do so many beautiful ones with turned legs and gorgeous antique looking treatments that make them look original if you want to do that. It did not really work for me in my space, but I think in hers that could be a fabulous addition too. Lighting is always important. Always do more lighting than you think you need in a kitchen. It's something I've learned is so important. So, although I chose very modern lighting in my kitchen, we right next door because it's all wide open in my dining room. This was original to the house, and I just had fun with it and added some things. But anyway, we have throughout my house lots of original lighting and historic lighting. So I felt like my kitchen could be a little more modern, and it really does work for us. One thing to think about is with your kitchen, 50 years from now, could it still be authentic and look like it goes with your house and it belongs and something you're still enjoying? Hopefully, you plan very, very well before you do anything and make sure you've chosen a design that works with you and your family.
Okay, so my mom just walked you through basically everything that you need for that specific kitchen. A few of her points that I want to really make sure land because they're the ones that make or break a historic kitchen. Don't move the wall. Get the 48-inch stove and large fridge built in. Find a cabinet maker who actually works on historic homes, not just anyone, and take those cabinets as close to the ceiling as you can. Dolomite over marble every time because, again, staining. And that round table by the windows should be a non negotiable. It's going to make that corner of your kitchen amazing. Now, she asked us about one more space as well, her parlor. And here's what my mom would tell you: find one wall, just one. That is the wall that gets wallpaper. Any William Morris pattern in whatever colors make you happy works beautifully in a space like this. My mom always uses spoon flour, pre pasted, and removable. So if you change your mind later, it's not a whole ordeal. Then take one of the softer, not too bright colors straight out of that wallpaper and use it to paint the rest of the room. That is what ties the entire space together instead of the wallpaper feeling like it's fighting with the walls around it. So that's the kitchen and that's the parlor. Two rooms, but one same rule. Keep what makes the house feel like the house and build the rest around it. If you want us walking you through your whole house room by room, just like we did for her, that is exactly what we are building with our Own the Whole Journey course. Get on the wait list. The link is in our description, and you will be the first to know the second that it is open. In the meantime, if you want one of our free guides, if you already own a historic home, you want to grab our Protect It guide, you can grab that in the description as well. And if you are on the home hunting journey and you want to make sure that you make the right decision before you put in an offer, grab our home buyer's guide that is also linked in our description. That is it for today. We will see you right back here next week.